Hello. Hey, it's Ray Rican here. Just today, what I'll be talking about is what came out yesterday, which is nonsense. Is Time Magazine names Biden and Harris Person of the Year, and this is ridiculous. Come on, every single time a Democrat wins when they can't stand a Republican, they win the Time Person of the Year. I mean, okay, with Obama, I get it. Obama was and he also won the Nobel Prize for being the first black president. I get it. That there's at least understanding, but for this, I mean, just because he's not Trump, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Trump has. I mean, here's the article. Time has named President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris its Person of the Year. And I mean, they're in great company too, because Hitler was Time Person of the Year too. So no, I'm not comparing them. I'm not comparing them to Hitler. I'm just saying it just goes to show you the bias in the news. It's always a left-leaning bias. Um, like I said, Trump. Um, Ch- you know, Trump can't win anything in this. Uh, can't catch a break. But I want to talk about also. It's like, okay, Trump. Biden's Man of the Year, but here it's like Politico. Here's an article from Politico. Biden has fought a pandemic before. It did not go smoothly. I'm using Politico because Politico is not a right-leaning source of information. They're left. They're left. But here goes. In April 2009, and the 3-month-old Obama administration was desperately grappling with the worst economic collapse since the Great Depression, when Homeland Security Advisor John Brennan arrived at the Oval Office to warn the president and vice president of a new crisis, the H1N1, or the swine flu. It goes here that, so the reason I'm talking about this is because they're talking about how now we have Biden and he's gonna handle the Time Person of the Year is gonna handle the coronavirus now, and it's like, look, listen, there's the president, whether it was Obama during swine flu, and now Trump during the coronavirus, there's not much a president could do. They're gonna say, oh, he should have this, he should have did that. That's in hindsight. I mean, even in this article, it talks about where is it here? I'm just looking for. Bear with me. It had here it goes. It's a purely fortuity that this isn't one of the greatest mass casualty events in American history. Ron Klein, who was Biden's chief of staff at the time, said of H1N1 in 2019, it had nothing to do with us doing anything right. I want to repeat that. It had nothing to do with us doing anything right. It just had to do with luck. If anyone thinks this can't happen again, they don't have to go back to 1918. They could just go back to 2009 and 2010 and imagine a virus with a different lethality, and you can just do the math on that. So, what is it here? H1N1, or the swine flu, killed approximately 12,500 people. But 60 million people were infected with the swine flu. 60 million. We're not even at that number yet with the coronavirus. So imagine if the swine flu had the same death rate. Just imagine that. And so to think that just one person can make a difference when it comes to who's going to be the president, there's not really much they could do. And who would have been in charge? Fauci. Fauci was in charge then, and he was in charge now. So there's not, like I said, there's not much presidents could do. But they want to put all the blame on Trump, and here's some of the numbers. There could have been 2 million deaths. Dr. Fauci said maybe 1.2 million deaths. Um, the Lancet study said 402,000. So, you know, it goes here. Klein was absolutely right that the Obama administration was essentially lucky that H1N1 wasn't more lethal. It had only a 0.02% case fatality rate. So despite the inability to contain the virus, they didn't close travel with other countries or implement social distancing. The widespread infection resulted in the deaths of 12,649 Americans over the course of the year. Klein points to the failure of the Obama-Biden administration to produce enough doses of the vaccine as a primary failure of their response. This is from PJ Media. Now, PJ Media is a right-leaning source of information that, you know. So this is what we're getting from the person of the year. And here's another thing we're getting from the person of the year. Newsmax, obviously, is a right-leaning source. Probe of Biden's son places new scrutiny on Attorney General pick. Here's a left-leaning source. Investigation of his son is likely to hang over Biden as he takes office. Unless the Trump Justice Department clears Biden, the new president will confront the prospect of his own administration handling an inquiry that could expose his son to criminal prosecution. Yes. So the story that they ignored, that they blocked on social media, and even on YouTube, I think they blocked it. I'm not sure, but definitely on, Twitter blocked it, Facebook blocked it, and now it's a story. This should have been, the media should have did its own homework. I mean, look at this here. I mean, this is ridiculous. Usually, it goes here. On the campaign trail, Mr. Biden accelerated Mr. Trump's effort to use the FBI and Justice Department to go after his enemies and go easy on his friends, vowing to restore a measure of autonomy for law enforcement if he won the election. Yes, this is the same guy that went to, he was at the Council of Foreign Relations meeting bragging about how he got a prosecutor fired. Is that how he's going to be independent with the law enforcement? I mean, just because he did it to another country, who's to say he's not going to do it here? They dared Trump to fire Mueller, when they were doing the Russia report, the Russia investigation. Let's see what they're going to do with John Durham. Let's see if Biden's going to try to fire him. Will he get strung up on let's see what charges he'll get. If he'll get impeding, I forget the term that they use, but so I mean, just so you can see, this is what's going on. I mean, definitely here. I mean, here's this National Review, the Hunter Biden investigation overt and prime for a special counsel. Definitely, it needs to get a special counsel because they need protection. Because we all know that Trump is not. Biden's not going to let them fully investigate his son if there's not a special counsel. It's not going to